feeling this morning? How are you coming into this space? What's on your heart? Just throw a word right in the chat. I just want to take a quick pulse check. How are you all doing this Monday? How are you feeling? We're in the midst of holiday season. You've got a lot going on. I'm so proud of you for showing up for each other and your business. Ooh, festive and excited. Casey, I love it. Excited, Liz. Yes, inspired. We love that around here. Amazing. Brooke, energized. No surprise. So good. Oh my gosh, Holly Jolly, Debbie, I love it. This is going to be a super highly interactive hour, and we are bringing all the gems today. So we are so excited. This is one of our absolute favorite topics, networking. In Women's Business League, we love networking because we believe that it is truly the power of connection that delivers results in business and in life. And so when we say the word networking, this community, we are changing the way women network. And we're so glad you're here because we're going to share so many actionable tips to set you on the path to success.
All right, here we go. So Amy, why don't we just do a short little intro on both of us? So I'll go first. For those of you that are new and you're just getting to know Amy and I, Amy hit it right on the head. I mean, networking is our passion, but really it's the community and relationships. And we're going to get into that in a little bit. But for those of you that don't know us, my name is Melissa Gilbo, and I am one of the co-founders of Women's Business League. I am also, we all wear very many hats. So I am a boy mom. I love my boys. And I started in the insurance industry right out of college. I landed a job with GE. So I was both on the corporate side and the agency side. So I've kind of seen it all. And I've been in the industry for over 20 years. And networking was truly how I built my business. And I really understand to my core the power and the value of networking if done correctly and with intention. So my journey landed me in the networking realm for my insurance business, but then it turned into my passion and WBL was born. And that's where I met Amy. And since I left my insurance career, which was the scariest thing I've ever done, and here full time with Women's Business League, and I've never looked back. So how many of you kind of have a similar story? I want to see hands up, like where you really redefined yourself. You reinvented who you were. Yes, I know, right? So many of us. It's scary. It's hard. We've been there. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to hand this over to Amy so she can introduce herself. Go ahead, Amy.
Amazing. I'm just having so much fun in the chat. I'm just over here like, hi, it's so great to see you. What an incredible crew this morning. So I'm Amy Posick. I'm co-founder of the Women's Business League. And many of you know my story, so I won't bore you to death with that. But just for those that I'm meeting for the first time, I am a CPA turned entrepreneur who just loves building community. I am so passionate about helping women succeed in business and life. It is the passion of my heart. And just so thrilled to be here with all of you. So let's dive in, Melissa.
Let's do it. Here we go. All right, so we're gonna hit some of these major bullet points. So redefining networking, creating value for others, powerful strategies to build trust, own the power of your personal brand, and some social media for networking, which I'm super excited about, and how to build community around your brand. So first of all, ladies, we're here to redefine what networking looks and feels like. Who's here for this? Who's with me? Right? Like we're here, we're going to disrupt this space and really redefine what it's like to network, but most importantly, what it feels like to network. So a lot of us, we hear the word networking or networking event. Does that make you cringe a little? Yeah, I know. I hear that a lot. But it's time to throw all that out the window. All the generic, outdated advice that we've learned over the years. It's time to stop following the old rules they don't apply anymore. And we're here to try something new. We know that in today's business world, effective networking is crucial. I mean, you, in my opinion, cannot build a business without a networking component. But for most of us, we're not really truly mastering what it's like to network. So what we're going to do is share some competitive share some new industry specific networking practices and tips with you that Amy and I cannot wait to share. So we're here to disrupt the networking world and redefine what it's like to network. And this is one of our favorite sayings, is that networking is just a fancy word for helping others. Are you ready? All right. I love this one too. Don't wait for opportunity, create it. And don't be shy. You can go ahead and take a screenshot or a pic of this quote if you want. These slides are yours, so go ahead and do that if you want. All right, so the benefits of networking. I like to think of them as the 4 C's, and we'll get into this in a little bit. One of my other favorite quotes is, if you do nothing, nothing will happen. So there are so many benefits to networking. A strong network will support, advocate, and even sell for you. Networking will get you noticed. It will open doors to new opportunities and also collaborations. It will build your self-confidence. You'll gain more knowledge, advice, and support. It will help you build and grow your brand, gain you new connections. And we know that community and connections will actually fast track your career. And another fact is that it also helps with your mental health. The list goes on and on, the benefits of networking. So for me, I like to really think of it as the 4 beneficial C's. A lot of us think of networking and we think of the R word. Who knows what the R word is? Can you pop it in the chat? Referrals. And we are not networking based on that word anymore. We're going to network based on these 4 C's of networking: connections, collaborations, clients, and community. Another favorite quote: networking is less about talking and more about actions. How many of you have been, on a one-on-one or a meeting and it's talk, and then you leave and nothing happens? So we're here to kind of redefine that, right? So the first nugget I want to offer is to create value for others. So I think of this as be the giver. And let's kind of dive into what this could look like. I usually say it's more of like value-driven outreach. So when you're reaching out to new connections, you want to focus on providing value. We need a lot more people looking to give value versus receiving and taking, right? We've all been in that situation when you're in a conversation or you're meeting somebody for the first time and they're kind of selling at you and it doesn't feel so good, right? Yeah, I know. Nobody wants to be in that conversation. It's like that icky feeling. Oh, who put yuck? Ugh. So some examples I want to share with you about giving, being the giver, is you might want to offer insights, share some relevant content, share an event that's coming up that maybe you invite them to go with you, connect them with somebody, or connect them with a powerful resource. There are so many different ways that you can give value and it doesn't cost any money. So in the chat, I'm curious, what are other examples that you can think of for giving? There's so many powerful examples, but I'm curious to see, like, what else do you guys do or will do to give? So we'll let you get that in the chat. Volunteer at a nonprofit. That is amazing. Oh, Liz, I love that so much. Another way is to be the lifter. I love this one so much. We know that encouraging words are so very powerful. We can choose to use words for encouragement, and words actually have the energy and power with the ability to help others. And it doesn't require any money or effort or much time. So ladies, we're here to lift while we build. Yes? Yes. All right. So in the chat, I'm going to throw out a couple statements to you, and I want you to know, I want to hear from you. Like, how do these statements make you feel? Beth, keep it up. Kelly, awesome job. Lara, you can do it. So things like that is very powerful and uplifting. So be the lifter, be the encourager. But beyond words, what are some other ideas? For me, I love to sit down and write a review. Words of encouragement on their Google account or on their social media. Send a handwritten note card. These ones are my favorite, is do a shout out. Again, words of encouragement, shouting somebody out that you've just met. Again, doesn't take much time, and it doesn't cost a lot of money. Or even feature them. I've seen a lot of you feature other women on your own personal socials, and I think that is so powerful. I love it. Another one to think of is to be the connector. So this is somebody that connects people within their network for mutual benefit. There's so many women on this call right now that excel at connecting people. So this is something that you want to try to do. And people find huge value when you actually take the time to make an introduction or to connect somebody, and they will remember you for that. So some examples at an event, and for those introverts that are with us, and believe it or not, I can really fall into that category in that bucket of, walking into an event. It's very scary when you don't know anybody. So I like to think of it as giving yourself a job. A lot of times when we have a job or something to do, it doesn't feel so scary. So this is something that you can really utilize at your next event, is to be the connector. And when I say this, when you walk into a room and you don't know anybody, you want to shy away from talking with people that you already know, right? Like, we already know them. The whole goal is to connect with others. So walk up to somebody that you don't know and start to listen and understand what they do. And then another person. And when I do this, it's so eye-opening, because then I start to connect people that I don't know with other people in the room. And it becomes so powerful and valuable and appreciated. So that's something you can actually do at your very next event. Does that make sense? So a pro tip, something that I do always, is to actually book your next coffee date right then and there in that room at the event. A lot of times we'll talk and we'll say, oh, let's connect. And then we leave the room and nothing happens. So a pro tip here is to actually make the connection or the appointment right then and there. Make sense? And it saves a lot of time and a lot of emails going back and forth. All right. So let's go on to the next slide here. Amy, I know the chat's going crazy. I can't see the chat, but if there's any questions, I'm going to pause right here. Just let me know, Amy.
The
Good
chat
so
is
far?
bumping, but no questions so far. So if you do have a question, feel free to throw it right in the chat. I'm loving it. Keep up the amazing work, ladies.
Woohoo! And we're going to have an opportunity for a Q&A at the very end of this session. So even if you're not in the chat, we'll go ahead and open it up in a bit. All right, so now I'm going to go on to our next nugget of wisdom here. This is a great quote. Networking is not an event, it's a way of being. So this is really powerful. I'm going to share some strategies with you, but I want you to remember that when somebody trusts you, they'll remember you. And successful business relationships are built on a foundation of trust, communication, and shared values. So when somebody trusts you, they will remember you. So here's how I like to think about it. The word trust simply broken out into time, relationship, understanding, supportive equals trust. So let's dive into time. So adding value to others means giving your time. I love lifting other people up, and that's why I always give a percentage of my time to serve others. There are so many ways you can show you care. Making time, giving somebody your full attention when you're with them is so incredibly important. My biggest pro tip here is to smile. I'm telling you, when you smile, they feel that warmth and they get to see a little bit of that trust shine through. So I have an action item for you all right now with your pen and paper. I want you to sit and be intentional for 1 minute. And I want you to kind of map out and write down what percentage of time are you willing to give to help others. So for 2024, as you're sitting down and building out your 2024 plan, I would really love for you to put this component into your plan. So for me, I am an overgiver. A lot of people will say it could be a little bit to my fault, but I love it. It's the core of who I am. So I would say 30% of my time is to give and to serve others. It's probably even more than that. So go ahead and write that down. My pro tip here is don't ever become too busy that you stop connecting with people. And I really want you to think about that and write it down. When you're building out your 2024 calendar, don't ever become too busy that you stop meeting people. Okay, thumbs up for this one. All right, cool. So let's dive into relationships. And we all know relationships is a bit of a long game. They're not instant. It's kind of like dating somebody. But I think in the networking realm, we all forget this. We think that we show up to an event, we've met 10 people, and boom, magic's going to happen. But it doesn't. These relationships take nurturing, follow-up, communication. You want to also strive to build like a mutual beneficial relationship and not always just give. So I want you to start to think outside of the box here. So the action item here is to write down some new industries that you'd like to be connected to. And I want you to start asking for those connections. So an example here is in my insurance world, I actually stayed on a straight path. And I thought the road to my networking success was to only meet with people in my industry, in my lane, meaning I would connect with realtors, mortgage folks, the legal professions, when really, and that's it. That's all I kind of stayed with. When really my hairdresser was my biggest referral partner. So I really want you to start to think beyond what you're doing with who you're connecting with and where you're connecting with people. So another for the where, Amy laughs when I say this all the time, but I meet so many people at the deli line at Market Basket. Amy and I both meet so many people on the sideline of the soccer field, the baseball field, at the gym. And I actually meet a lot of people at charity events. So I really want you to start to think about expanding your network and your reach with who you're connecting with and where. Okay. So I want you to start to write those down. Awesome. All right. So next we're going to dive into understanding. So understanding, I really want you guys to learn and listen more than you talk. Have you ever been on a one-on-one or a coffee date where folks just kind of dump on you a little bit and you're like, oh boy, and you haven't even gotten a word in edgewise and the coffee's over? So don't be that person. So I really want you to prep for your time with people and understand what they need. So asking powerful questions during a one-on-one or a coffee date is really going to benefit you. And do the prep work. Understand why people do what they do, not just what they do. Like really understanding their why and their backstory is a great way to understand who their clients are and what they're looking for. Sound good? So supportive. This one, I narrow it down because sometimes it can get a little overwhelming. So when I'm with somebody, I'm trying to understand how I can help them and how I can support them. So narrow it down just to one specific thing that you can do to help somebody. Don't leave a one-on-one with a laundry list of things that you need to do. Just narrow it down to one. And an action item here is to go ahead and buy yourself a beautiful journal or a notebook and solely use it for networking for your one-on-one coffee dates. And Amy and I have a little surprise for our members in 2024, but you're all going to have to wait to hear what's coming. And then trust is the last one. And I think this is going to be the secret sauce here is trust really comes at the form of following up and following through. I read a statement that says follow up is rare and follow through is nearly extinct. So we want to be that community of women that builds the trust, that's supportive, understanding, we're building relationship, giving our time. So I hope some of this was helpful. And my pro tip here is to actually block off time in your calendar to do the follow-up and the follow-through, because this is actually an extension of your brand. How many of you have been to a meeting and they're like, yeah, I'm going to connect you, and then it's crickets after? So that actually is an extension of who you are and building your trust in your brand. So if you're going to do something, do it. And blocking off time on your calendar allows you to go ahead and do that. So for me, it's Friday mornings where I really make my connections. I do some intro emails and follow up with all of the people that I met that week. Sound good? So I'm going to stop talking here. I know I threw a lot at you. I hope you caught some nuggets and some action items and some pro tips that you can actually start using directly after this call. So I'm going to hand this over to Amy. She's got some incredible nuggets of info for us. Then we'll have a Q&A at the very end of this session. Thank you.
I am just loving the chat. I'm loving how you're all getting in there and interacting, and I can already see one-to-ones happening and connections. So amazing, amazing job, ladies. Keep it up. We are so excited to have you here. This is one of our favorite quotes. By the time you need a relationship, it's too late to build one. Can anyone go there with me, right? Like, we as powerful women with big missions on our hearts, we've got to be actively cultivating a network that is going to support our business goals, our personal goals, and our mission and our work in the world, right? So I love that. And this authenticity is your superpower. I want to talk about the power of your personal brand. Ladies, this is the innovation in marketing right now. Personal branding and thought leadership is the way of the future. So I want to get a quick temperature check right in the chat. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being you are so comfortable with your personal brand, you're invested in it, you're owning it, you're rocking it day in and day out. And 1 being like, Amy, what the heck is a personal brand and why do I need one? Where are you with your personal brand right now in this moment? And there is no judgment whatsoever. I'm just getting a temperature check. Amazing. So good. We are all over the place, and that's okay, because in our life we have seasons and we go through lots of different things, highs and lows. So if you see somebody on here who's at like an 8, a 9, and a 10, and maybe you're at a 1, a 2, or a 3, I want you to connect. I want you to reach out. I want you to get a 30-minute coffee date on your calendar to talk about the power of a personal brand and how it can propel you forward. So the word of the year is authentic. Okay. Does everybody hear that breaking news? It's authentic. So when you hear of the word authentic in the chat, what are some other words that come to your mind? Honest, Carmelina. I love that. Real, Lauren. Yes. There is not enough real and raw, right? We live in a world that has a lot of social media facades going on, and the world is craving authenticity. Humble, Cindy. I love that. Genuine, own. Yes, right? If I'm being honest, for a very long time, I did not own my personal brand. I was holding myself back. Has anybody ever felt that way? Felt like you had so much more to give, that there was another level for you to go to, but you kept playing small. Yes, I know that that resonates, right? And as women, it takes us stepping up and into our power. It takes us owning the challenges that we've gone through to be able to confidently share our story, to shine a light for others to see what's possible. But that is really deep work. And I want to encourage all of you. It is the most worthwhile work that you can do, because when you understand who you are, when you understand the mission on your heart, when you understand that you've got something to give that is so powerful and that the world needs so much, that is when your personal brand becomes so magnetic that you attract the opportunities you so deserve, that you're able to accomplish the big work in the world. And this is why it's so important. When you own your value, you are able to create value for others. If you don't see value in what you have to offer, it's really hard to generate opportunities for others. So I want to encourage you today, if you take one gem away from this call, I want it to be a call to play all out. I want you to stop playing small. I want you to go after the big dreams on your heart and do it in a way that is authentic and genuine to who you are as a person, because you are such a bright light and the world really, really needs you. And so when you lean into your authenticity, you're able to create so many opportunities for others. What that really takes, though, is being honest about the challenges that you've overcome. It takes working through your limiting beliefs, and that's hard work, but I know you can do it, and it's so worth it. It really takes owning your results. So in the chat, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you in terms of owning your results that you create for others? Do you talk about them openly? Or do you feel like a 1 is maybe like, I can't really share about that because I feel like it's bragging, or Oh my gosh, I'm so happy to see these 8, 9s, 10s. And if you're, yes, I love that. And I think that's a testament to the WBL community, because this is a space where ambition is celebrated and we cheer each other on for growing and just like, yeah, delivering incredible results. So awesome. But when we own our results and we stand authentically in our power, that is when we magnetize and when we create opportunities for others. So a big part of this, a big part of the authenticity comes into play when we're doing some of these one-to-one connections. So I would love to know in the chat, how often are you doing one-to-one, either coffee dates, virtually or in person? Is it once a week, twice a week, once a month, once a week? Love it. Not enough? That's okay, Kim. You're in the right place. You're going to fill your calendar twice a month. Awesome. I love that. So I'm going to share a little story about a woman who's actually on this call right now, but I won't call her out by name. I got on a call with her just the other day. Now, she had booked a coffee date with me 3 months ago. So I'm booking out 3 months for coffee dates just because of my calendar. And she got on the call and she had prepared. She came to the call having already done her research and came with 3 to 5 ways that she could add value to me. I was so blown away by that I was so excited to reciprocate for her. And so one of the things that's so ingrained in who we are as a community is we call it this 3-level prep. So when somebody is giving you their time and attention, we want to honor that. And one of the most amazing ways to do that is by coming to the meeting prepared with value to give. So here's how we prepare for a one-on-one in the WBL community. 3-level prep. Let's say I'm going to have a coffee date with, let's see, Amy Madden. She's on this call, right? Let's say I'm going to have a coffee date with Amy Madden. And also, hands up if you had a coffee date with Amy Madden. It is a blast, right? So here's how I'm going to prepare. I want to research her industry. So I'm going to go to Captain Google. I'm going to spend 5 to 10 minutes looking at the finance industry. What's going on? And I'm going to jot down some notes. Then I'm going to go and I'm going to look at her company, the company that she's associated with, the business that she works for. I'm going to Google them. I want to read about their press releases. I want to see what their values are. I want to see if they've been in the news at all. And then I'm going to Google her personally. I'm going to check out her social handles. I'm going to see what she cares about, because on her personal social, I might find out things like the organizations that she's a part of, or the passion of her heart, or her family. And I'm going to make some notes there too. Then ahead of the meeting, I'm going to think about, how can I add value to her? Coming prepared, standing in my authentic power, knowing that I have a lot to offer and I want to show up with the give, right? So that's a 3-level prep. I'm going to pause there for a second. Does anybody have any questions on building your personal brand in service to others, or prepping for a one-to-one using the 3-level prep method? I love it. I think it's good too. Thank you. I love the chat. Yeah, it's awesome. I love that people are already using this. This will really change the way that you connect in with people and the value that you give and receive. That's awesome. Amazing. All right. So we're all fired up to go ahead and invest in our personal brand, show up with value, and give, right? Okay, next. Oh, thank you, Kelly. So nice. Next, I want to talk about social media. So social media is an extension of our networking efforts, right? Now, this is a broad category and so much more than I can go through in a few minutes here, but I'm specifically talking about social media for your business. So don't worry, I am guilty as charged too of just scrolling through Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. But in our time together, I want to focus in on social media as a marketing and business strategy, right? So I love this image here. On the left is what we tend to pay attention to: likes and followers and reactions, and all of that is so great. But when it comes to social media for networking and for our business, What we really want is the dollars. Am I right? Right? What we really want is our clients. We want conversions. So I got on a call the other day with one of my clients, and she had 9,933 followers on LinkedIn. Pretty good, right? And she said to me, Amy, I just need to get to 10,000. If I get to 10,000 followers, that will be success. And I said, hold on. What if instead of focusing on that, we focus on converting 1% of your current followers? That would equate to over 90 new clients in your business, right? And I could just see the light bulb go off. That is what we're trying to do. That is the power of social media for your business, right? We want to elevate our followers to friends. We want to elevate our connections to colleagues. We want our connections to turn into conversions. Yes. And so if we are just going into social media and engaging on the accounts that the algorithms are serving up to us, then we're missing the point of using it intentionally. And ladies, we are women with intention, right? Everything that we do has strategy and intention behind it because we have no time to waste. We've got really big missions and goals on our heart. Yes. Yes. So I want you to do a social media audit. I want you to look through your audience today and identify who is already in your audience, who would be your ideal clients. I want you to make a list and go out and intentionally engage on those accounts. I want you to unfollow accounts that don't fit with your goals and your vibe. And I want you to consider some social media strategy, right? Really getting into the brass tacks of how you can use the platforms to meet your business goals. I want you to consider who or which platform is your primary platform, meaning where are your ideal clients spending time? So in the chat, what is your primary platform for your business? Where are your clients spending time? Instagram, Nikki, LinkedIn, Amy, yep, Facebook. Yes. Amazing. So if you say that your primary platform is LinkedIn and maybe your secondary platform is Instagram, I want you to check in and make sure that the amount of time that you're spending is aligned with the platform where your ideal clients are spending their time. So I want to know in the chat, because we're running a little bit tight on time, what questions do you have about using social media for networking and building your business? You all pros. You got this. You got clients flying in your DMs every day. I love it. I love it. So good. LinkedIn is so powerful. And when it comes to professional networking, I highly, highly recommend LinkedIn. Oh, and great question. How do you convert to a coffee date? Excellent question. So let's say you've found somebody on LinkedIn that you would love to connect with. We've all received those spammy messages that are say, "Hi, Amy, I'd love to connect. Could you get a coffee immediately?" That's going to be a hard no, right? But if you send a connection request with a thoughtful note on why you're connecting with them, maybe they're, I love, connecting with women who are up to really big things. And my connection requests usually look like, "Hi, I am so excited to connect with a fellow leader in Boston. That's where I'm based. Would you be open to connecting?" They accept the connection request. I'm going to start to engage on their social platform, engage with their content in a really thoughtful way, which means a comment more than 4 words. Okay. And I am just as guilty as you as being like, "I love this. That's awesome. Amazing." But on LinkedIn, it's a thought leadership platform. And so we want to engage in a very thoughtful way. I would do that for a period of time. And then once you feel comfortable, they're responding back to you, then feel free to go into their DMs and suggest a 30-minute virtual coffee date, right? You have to make the ask. So good. let me see what other questions we've got. Awesome questions. I hope that's helpful, Anne. Let me see. Okay, so there's so many questions. I love these. They're so good. Oh, Kim, how to not go down the rabbit hole and start comparing yourself. This is such a great question. And I would really encourage you to set a timer. So if you're going to go into social media, I would set a timer and I would be very strategic. So you have no time for comparison. You are a woman with big goals and dreams on your heart. You've got to stay focused. And, you know, if I had more time, I would give you a whole framework for how to work through comparison, because it's a really powerful emotion. But in the time we have together, I want you to keep your goals top of mind. I want you to have a strategy in place so that when you go onto social media, it is very intentional and it's proactive instead of just consuming what's on your feed, which is very reactive. Okay. I hope that's encouraging. Oh, I love this question. What's the best way to introduce yourself on LinkedIn? Just like you would at a coffee date. Stand in your power, be authentic, post a beautiful picture of you straight to camera and say, this is who I am, and I would like to reintroduce myself. I'm going to actually connect with you, Amaka, and make sure that you do that this week, okay? It takes some courage, but you can do it. Amy's asking about data that demonstrates effective rates of conversions per platform. Great question. I have no clue, but I will look to see if I can find you a social media manager who might be able to. Lorraine's asking what should be done in a warm introduction. Okay, a warm introduction is a beautiful thing. It's something that we love to do within Women's Business League. If you've got a warm introduction, I want you to respond quickly and ask for a coffee chat. Thank the person that introduced you and run with that lead. That's amazing. Leah, great question. Verbiage approaches on LinkedIn. I would say, imagine the person's right in front of you. Imagine that you just met them at a restaurant, and what would you go up to somebody and say? I would be very authentic, very real, drop the formality and just be kind and be yourself. You got this. Meg, great question. How can I approach other business owners for a collaboration? Great question. So I would identify the business that you want to collab with. I would look to see if you have any warm connection to that business. So drop a comment in the WBL All community chat, say, hey, I'm looking for a connection to this business. Who do you know? See if you can look through your LinkedIn, Instagram connections, see if anybody might be connected to that business. A warm connection is always going to be better than cold. However, if you have to do a cold outreach, that's okay too. I would say just engage with their content for a little while so that you become visible to them. And then when you do reach out cold, they're much more likely to accept the introduction. And then when you reach out, just be real and just say what you admire about them and why you think it would be a good fit. Great question. Lots of collaborations happening on LinkedIn too. If you can add value, even better. So let's say it's a business, maybe you offer, hey, let's do an IG live together. That's going to get them in front of your audience, which is huge value. Awesome. Just looking at all these questions. These are so good. Amazing. All right. So real quick, I just wanted to talk quickly about, this is something that is cutting edge. This is where it's at for marketing. So we've got personal branding, building community around your brand. This is so hot right now. And it's hot because it's delivering results. So if you're a personal brand, if you're promoting a business brand, you want to be intentional about building community around your brand. So what is a community? In the chat, what's a community? WBL, Amy. Yep. Like-minded people, Brandy. Exactly, Brooke. Yes. people who are looking to learn and grow that have a common interest, right? A community is individuals coming together around a goal or a mission. Yes, Marsha. Oh my gosh, Lauren, supportive, right? Now, what's a brand? What's a brand? An identity. Oh my gosh, I love it. Nailed it. Who you are. Yes. It's literally just a product, business, a person that has distinct identity out in the marketplace, right? And a strong brand just cuts through the noise and stands out in a crowded marketplace. And that's what we all want, right? An authentic, powerful brand that stands out. When somebody sees us either out at an event or on social media, we have an authentic, integrated brand that magnetizes and attracts opportunities. So you, as the brand or the brand of your business, you want to bring together in community like-minded people to achieve a common mission or goal. So you create the space, you own the role of being a leader, and facilitate the engagement between the people in your world. So one of the easiest ways to create huge ROI in your business is to allow the people in your world to connect, right? Do you have a forum for your clients to get to know each other? Do you have a forum for your team and your clients? And maybe it's even your the people in your social media world, a way for them to come together with you as the hub. It is such a win-win because it's creating huge value for them, and you become the hub, and everybody is tied into that. And so huge opportunity to build community around your brand. I wish we had a whole other power hour to go into this because it is the most amazing strategy working right now, but I do want to leave a few minutes for some more questions. So we are here for you. Melissa and I are here to serve you. If you have any questions at this moment, we just want to open up questions in terms of anything around networking. This is who we are. It's what we've been doing for years. We've built a whole community around this, and we want to share with you. We have a servant's heart, and we are here. Brandy, would you build a community like a separate Facebook group? Absolutely. If that feels authentic to you, there's lots of different platforms and ways that you can do this, but having a forum for the people in your world to connect and thrive is a very smart business decision. Congratulations, Whitney. Any questions? This is your time to get it answered. Don't leave this call without having your questions answered. We are here for you. Melissa, do you want to jump in? Any final thoughts? Lorraine, we love you.
I just want to thank everybody for taking the time to be with us today. Time is valuable, as we all know, but I really hope you found some nuggets of wisdom and information, some tips that you're going to utilize as soon as you get off this call. And tag us. Don't be afraid to say, hey, I tried this and thank you for this. But if anybody here wants to learn a little bit more information about WBL, go ahead and scan this code. We have so many incredible members on with us right now, but we have so many incredible visitors that we'd love to stay connected with. So go ahead and scan the code and give us a shout out or tag us on social media. As Amy was saying, we're on Instagram, LinkedIn, and Facebook for Women's Business League. And if there are any more questions, this is our email, info@womensbusinessleague.com. We would absolutely love to stay connected with every one of you. And our website is just womensbusinessleague.com. So thank you. And this will be recorded. So if you know of anybody wanting to, look at the presentation, or if you just want to recap it, you can just info@womensbusinessleague.com and we'll go ahead and send that to you. Okay.
This was amazing. Ladies, I just want to encourage you that you are meant for really big things and a dream that you can accomplish all on your own. I say dream bigger because a dream worth pursuing is one that takes a community. And the Women's Business League community, it's so amazing to be with you today. We are up to such big work in the world, and it's our honor as the leaders of this community to serve you, and we're here for you. So if you need anything at all, we'll drop our email in the chat as well. Don't be afraid to reach out to us. We want to see you all succeeding, and we're just here for you. So thank you for being on with us today. It was our joy to be here. We're so happy to see you.
Don't forget to save the chat, and happy holidays. Mwah. Take care.